Hey, what is up everyone? It is FBA Jeffrey. In this video, I wanted to talk about how much it costs to start your Amazon FBA business in 2024. And I'm only going to give you the required softwares that I recommend to every single one of my students that I mentor on a one-on-one basis. And it really is not that much, all things considered. Just these tools alone can get you to a couple $100,000 a month in sales. And I know that because I did it myself, and like these tools will get you very, very far. So let's get right into the video. So we're gonna first cover the different softwares that you need, and you really only need 3 softwares. Off the bat, I'm gonna say AZ Insights. This is very similar to Seller Amp. I use Seller Amps for a couple months now. Like when I first started on Amazon, I was using it, and then I converted over to AZ Insight. I personally found AZ Insight to be better for just the way the information was being shown. But all things considered, this is what AZ Insight looks like. All things considered, all the information and the data that's being displayed on this software, like Seller Amp displays as well, just in a different way. So it's more of a preference thing. It's really up to you. I do believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think AZ Insight is like $5 cheaper, or maybe like $10 cheaper. They also offer like a free trial period, so you could play around and see if you like it. But personally, I like AZ Insight. And what this software does is it shows you a snapshot in the current buy box, in the sense where it'll show you what the current price is, or current selling price, and what your profit would be, your ROI, your margin. It also shows the BSR. The lower the BSR, the better. Also display like the estimated monthly sales, the estimated monthly revenue, everything like that. What I really like about AZ Insights over Seller Amp, and that's not to say Seller Amp is bad, by the way, but I'm just going to talk about the different comparison and why I ultimately chose AZ Insight. I really like this aspect where it showed historical data over the 30-day average, the 90-day average, the 180-day average. It showed you the average of the buy box, which is really good, the lowest FBA offer, what the average BSR is. Over here, it'll show you, the product, like the listing details, like ASIN, UPC, the brand, the shipping weight, the dimensions. So you really need this app. And like I said, AZ Insights, $20, 20 USD a month. Very, very worthwhile. It's definitely one of the more important and the backbone of your Amazon business, of any Amazon business, shall I say. The second application or softwares that you need would be Keepa. This is probably the most important software in your Amazon business. Like your business on Amazon would not be profitable. It probably wouldn't even function at all if you do not have a Keepa subscription. And it's $20 USD, so it's honestly a steal. This is what it looks like. Essentially, this shows historical data. So AZ Insight, Seller Amp, that shows a snapshot in today's data, or today's sale, like a snapshot of today. Keepa is historical data, and when you're making purchasing decisions on Amazon, there's no way of determining the future, right? Like I'd love to be able to find and see what the price of an item would be in 30 days from now, but that's impossible. So the only way you're going to determine if an item is good or not is by looking at the current data and past data. So Keepa shows the past. You could filter it by day, by week, by month, 3 month, by a year, and all time. I could really go in depth with this. So I'll likely make a video one day, very soon, on how I would look at a Keepa chart. But yeah, there's a lot I could go over. It's very, very important. You could really determine if an item is good or not. So Keepa is very important. I strongly recommend that you guys have Keepa installed. The last software that you need would be Sellerboard. It's $19 a month. And I wouldn't say this is a necessary software off the bat, because when you're first getting sales here and there, if you're getting like less than 10 sales, it's pretty easy to determine if you're profitable or not. But once you do it at a larger scale, once you're selling, I'd say like 20 items a day, or not even, there's no set limit, but once you're consistently getting sales and you have multiple different SKUs, or like different items, I really recommend Sellerboard. This is more of like a P&L like software. It's not a real accounting software. You're still gonna eventually, if you scale high enough, you're gonna need a bookkeeper. You're gonna need to report it officially, but this is the software that I use, and I upload my daily profits, my daily sales all the time on my Instagram stories. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, feel free to follow me. It's also in the description below. But this is the app that I use. You could track your cost of goods, like how much they are, and it'll show you like your sales for today, what sold, how many of that sold, returns, everything. I'll show you everything. I'll show you your profit, your gross profit, your net profit, everything. So this is very, very useful if you want to get a very solid idea and understanding of how your business is running on a day-to-day basis. You can also filter this by week, by bi-weekly, by month, by quarter, by year. So I'll show you everything. So when it comes to selling plans, so these are the different subscriptions that you're going to take on to get access to Amazon Seller Central. That's the portal where basically you're going to ship all your products, you're going to get all your sales and whatnot. That's the app. There's two subscription models. The first is the individual, which is 99 cents a unit. There's no flat cost. The second would be $39 a month. This is the professional plan. I strongly recommend, and I say this all the time, to just go straight for the professional. Get your LLC if you're US. If you're Canada, get incorporated. So get that done, and then get the professional account, which is $40 a month. I'll give you all the options. Every single seller, like 99% of sellers, or the people who take it seriously, they're making like couple $1,000s in sales, they all got the professional plan. This is just what you need to do. Luckily, there's no other option where like this is the max that you're going to pay. But if you're just trying to test the waters with Amazon, you're just trying to see what's going on, then get the individual. You don't even get charged, but you do get charged like 99 cents an item sold. I do believe that there's a limit. Like you can only sell like, I believe it's like 50 units a month, which is like nothing, because like just off your first couple test buys, you're gonna sell over 50 units. But yeah, like the limit is 50 units a month. I could be wrong, but I know there's a limit, and it'll be 99 cents each time. And as you can see here, there's different options. Like you just won't have many different options. So I do strongly recommend getting the professional plan. So now we're gonna talk about ungating. And this isn't more specifically on cost, but it is also worth talking about because it also ties into inventory. Getting ungated is probably one of the first challenges that most Amazon sellers face. It's not too big of a challenge if you do it correctly. I have made like 2 videos over the last like 6 months talking about how I personally ungate and how I get through the process with no like issues whatsoever. So watch that video if you want to learn more. But with ungating, it really does not cost that much. Realistically, it'll cost you, or it'll run you about like $200 to $500 to ungate from any retailer, and you can return these items later. Like most retailers, they offer either like a 14-day guarantee or a 14-day refund policy or 30-day refund policy. So if you're just trying to ungate, you could purchase 10 units. Let's assume it's like $20 an item, which is slightly on the higher side. That's around like $200. Or if you really want to go for an expensive item, that's $50. Spend like $500, buy from the retailer, get ungated so you can sell that brand, and you can return it at the retail store. But if you work from a distributor, ideally, in an ideal scenario, you would be trying to ungate an item that is profitable, but sometimes that might be challenging. So yeah, you could go for the return if that's something that is your option. Shit. So to ungate, different brands, I'd say it typically runs about $200 to $500, and this is under the basis that you're just buying inventory just to ungate, and like these items are not profitable whatsoever, and you just want to ungate. Okay, so like this ranges because you just want to buy 10 units. Say if the item's $20, you buy 10 of it, it's $200. If the item's $50, you buy 10 of it, it's $500. A lot of like most retail stores, they offer like 14-day return policy or 30-day return policy, so that's not really too big of a problem. But ideally, you should want to purchase profitable inventory. So by the time you're buying it and trying to ungate, like you know for a fact that these items can make you money. Because at the end of the day with inventory, that number also varies. I personally recommend to start wholesale, to start your Amazon FBA wholesale business with minimum like 2 to 3 grand in available cash. The more the better, right? Like I have students who come into the program with 10 grand available, with 30 grand available. And at the end of the day, this business is a cash business. So you're using the cash that you have to make more cash. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what I'm talking about and where I'm coming from. It's good to have a lot of cash available, but I always tell all my students that when you're first starting off, before you get any sales, you only want to have a test buy. So you purchase 10 units or maybe even like 20 units max. So you're spending a couple $100. You want to ship those items in. And once you see sales and it's profitable and you get proof of concept, then, you know, feel free to start investing more money into the business. You could definitely do that. So I'd say starting anywhere from like 3 grand, that's a good benchmark to have, but like the more money, the better. And if you have less than 3 grand, then you can certainly go down the arbitrage route. I personally really enjoy the wholesale route because I think it's more sustainable. I think it's more scalable, but it is more costly. That's just the reality of it. But if you have less than 3 grand, just do arbitrage, get your money up. As you're making profits, reinvest it back into your business and scale. And once you get to that point, I really strongly recommend going into wholesale. And for wholesale, yeah, you're gonna at a minimum need $3,000 or more. But all things considered, everything that I've talked about, your total monthly subscription expenses, so we're talking about your Amazon account subscription, the softwares, it's gonna be $100. And like, hear me out. So I understand when you're first starting, $100 a month is a lot, but it's actually very good in the sense where these softwares could get you very, very far. Like you can scale to $50,000 months in sales. You can scale to $100,000 months in sales. Like I scaled to 200 grand a month just off these softwares, just paying $100, right? Like obviously as you're scaling, you're gonna start hiring VAs for $4 from the Philippines and whatnot. So that will move up your cost. But overall, your monthly subscription would be like $100. There's also a bunch of other like softwares that you could use here and there, but like realistically, when you're just first starting off, I want to be as transparent as possible and just provide you what you need and what will get you to where you want to go and your financial goals. So if you found a lot of value in this video, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe and you leave a thumbs up. If you're interested in my one-on-one mentorship where I work with you directly to start and scale your Amazon business to get you to 10 grand profit in 120 days or less, feel free to book a call with me in the description below. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.